Hello! This is actually editing me, but it's okay because then we don't have any spoilers for the final look. So I am here with an Expand Those Pans update, so if that sounds interesting to you, then please keep watching. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alyssa, and this project is from Dora, who is also here on YouTube at Fuchsia Soul. And of course, I will link her channel and the video and all that's, related to this. And the idea is that you hit eyeshadow pans and you want to keep using them. You don't want to just stop and be like, yay, I did it, let's move on, everything's good. So in order to do that, we have this wonderful project. And the way I'm doing it is I pick 3 shades at random that have pan in them. I use them 10 times each, and then I come back here and show you how they're looking and how it went. I also started doing a little challenge for myself where I try to use the 3 eyeshadows that I pick in a look. So the first part of this video is me updating you on the last 3 eyeshadows, and then the second part is picking the new ones and making a look out of them. So originally I was going to film this intro with the finished product on my face, and I totally forgot. So that means there's no spoilers. This you're gonna see actually in another video that I was filming today because I didn't realize that the other one needed an intro. So here we are. There's no spoilers here. I did use all the shades 10 times. Otherwise I wouldn't be coming back to talk to you, I guess, unless there was some sort of problem. And the first one I'm going to show is actually not that one. It's from my Zulu palette, and it is the yellow shade in here. And this palette is kind of messy, so I'll do my best. But I'm also going to show the close-ups you'll see too. But it was this shade right here. And I have to say, I thought that there would be more expansion from where it was. But before I started, you could not see the entire ring that's in the middle there. And now you can, and actually a little beyond that as well. It's just that there is a lot of eyeshadow in there. These are each... Oh, it's not going to tell me how much each one is. Well, editing me can figure out the math, which I am editing me, so, I will be doing it. 32 and 4/10 grams divided over 9 eyeshadows means that each eyeshadow has this many grams of product in it. Thanks, editing me. So, will I actually finish this eyeshadow palette before I need to retire it because it's getting too old? No. I know that's a no because I've had this for a while and it's still working well, so that's why I'm keeping it, but yeah, that's not going to happen. The next one is my Super Shock Shadow from ColourPop, and I was kind of hoping to get to the edge, but it's really hard to pick up the product, so you can kind of see how it's going. And again, I have the close-up pictures and all that. But yeah, I was hoping to kind of get all the way out. I don't know if I had that much expansion, because I will say that I really don't, like, I put my finger in and that wouldn't be quite enough. Let's see. Oh, dang it, I just spilled some. Okay, there we go. So if I was to rub my finger in a little bit, it's very crumbly. This would be enough for probably almost both eyes, or at least close to it, because I just really use it as an eye topper type of idea. And now we're sparkly. We're just trying to undo the sparkles down there. Okay, so now I kind of want to top it over. All right, I think I just will, so I'm not wasting it. But yeah, like, it's just a topper, and I don't use much at a time. So 10 uses, it's going to take a lot more than that to pan it. Will I actually be able to finish this completely? I don't know. I had kind of thought about doing it for this year, but that's definitely not going to happen by the end of this year. I feel like I would just be using a lot more of it than I need to. So I'm just going to keep adding it into projects as I have been and using it on and off, and I think that will do a good job for me. All right, the final shade was from my Magic palette. This is another old palette. And you can see there's lots of good sized pans. And so that pink shade, I will say overall this palette is probably very close on the chopping block of being retired, because these shades used to be more just shiny and metallic and that kind of thing, and they really aren't. This pink was not as good. I ended up using it as a blush, and so if I'm able to use it as a blush, then that means it is not, you know, working as it should. If I do a swatch of it, just to show you, this is basically the same eyeshadow that is in the Zulu palette from them as well. So if I was to, that one, don't make a mess. All right. So this is the Magic palette one, and this is the one from Zulu. I mean, okay, this one's technically a little bit peachier, and this one has a little bit more pink. Or is it just the light, how it hits it? I don't know. It's the most subtle of differences. I would say that this one maybe is a little bit shinier, so the one in my Zulu palette. And I believe that palette might be a little bit newer than the other one, but it's hard to say. They are quite old now. So yeah, like I was almost like tempted, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's essentially the same shade in the other one. Now I have to have two palettes out for like one shade of each, but it's fine. So like I said, I ended up using it more as a blush, and you know, it was fine. I got my uses. I think, you know, I did expand the pan, so yay. You know, I don't know about finishing it. A lot of the time I actually was doing the look that I did in my last video with them, where I did like the yellow in the crease, the pink all over the lid, and then the Lady Birch Super Shock all over, like just to add a little more sparkle to it. And, you know, or variations of that, because since I wasn't locked into just using those three eyeshadows at other times, then I was sometimes, you know, adding in other sparkly shades and all to help. And it was a nice, fun, like summery kind of look. So I enjoyed doing that. But yeah, go ahead. And now I'm going to do picking the new shades. Okay, I am ready here to pick the new shades that I'm going to hopefully expand those pans with. So some of them were already blanked out from last time. Yep, it's the three from last time. So we should be good that I won't have a repeat from at least last time, but there might be older ones and we'll deal with that then. All right, Stoned 2, that's for my Stoned Vibes palette. So that's gonna be one of the shimmery shades. The Magic palette again, number 14. I'm trying to think which one that is. I feel like that's one of the greens. All right, let's get one more. Festival 17. All right, let me go find those. Okay, so I am back. I'm going to be showing you the eyeshadows on the screen. You will see that two of them are kind of a let's find the pan in the pan, but it is there. One of them, the festival one, was actually one that I just had barely squeaked out a pan for a level up. So you know what? It's fine. Let's expand it because it is so tiny. My Stone Vibes one, that one is a little bit trickier just because those are very squishy shades and they move around a lot. So sometimes the pan is bigger and sometimes it's smaller. So the progress picture, like, you know, when I eventually have the after, I guess we'll see how it ends up looking. I'm gonna try not to move the stuff around too much in there, just, you know, use it, but it's a little tricky. And then the Magic palette is definitely already a good size pan, but I feel I have some other eyeshadows in there with a even bigger pan, so that's fine. And also I feel like this is a good eyeshadow palette for this time of year. I probably could have pulled it into my fall palettes, you know, if I'm being honest about it. So I'm also gonna have my swatches up so you can see those too and see about this color story we have. Definitely this like tealy green type of thing. I am going to try to make a look with the three eyeshadows, so let's see how it turns out. All right, let's see how we do. As you might have noticed when I was when I was talking about the shades, I said that the Stone Vibes one, you couldn't see the pan, and that was before I swatched. And as soon as I did a swatch, then the pan magically reappeared. So, you know, it's a moving situation type of thing. And also when I swatched the teal shade, the pan went away, but oh, it just came back now that I'm using the eyeshadow. So there we go. So I'm gonna start with that teal matte. And I guess I'm not gonna do a halo eye. I'm just gonna do more of like these tend to be basic. I still had yellow on here. Okay, well, that's fine. So I forget sometimes how pigmented some of these shades are. There we go. All right. So yeah, starting with the teal. I'm gonna cut out some of this blending, but just know it's happening. Okay, now I'm going to use the Magic palette. It's more of a satin kind of shade, to be honest, but it's also kind of in that teal family. You know what? I'm gonna try spraying it. Let's see if that ups it. All right, let's see. But I was gonna make this like a base. Oh, actually that's kind of like a, okay, I'll say this. It has a nice sort of sheen to it once it's been wet, but it's probably still not enough for me for what I normally go for. That's okay. Like I was gonna use it as a base for the more sparkly shadow. Now we're just having like a full-on teal moment here. I realized it was gonna blend in so much with the matte eyeshadow. I felt like they were a little bit more distinct, but maybe not. Interesting. All right, well, this is just me making a look with just the 3 eyeshadows. And when I'm actually doing stuff, I feel like I might add like, I don't know, actually maybe doing like a little yellow or something like that could just do something a little different so it's not just all teal, because I feel like that gets a bit much. I also still need to do something on the lower lash line because I feel like it looks a little funny without. All right, and now I'm going to use the shade in the Stone Vibes palette. We're gonna see if I can pick it up with the brush, okay? But again, I think, so let me wet this. And I should try picking up a little bit more. And let's see how that goes. And I'm gonna tap it all over. And actually, yeah, that is what I was hoping for. Okay, that helped keep it a little like, I don't like when like the eye is all one color. So that made it work. Cause that's more green. That's what I was thinking, green would go well with this. I've got a lot of fallout happening, but it's okay. Now for the lower lash line, what would I do? Maybe just do more of the matte underneath. And yes, this is my lazy, I don't feel like dirtying another brush technique. I'm just kind of bringing that underneath. And then, all right, let's see what else I can do with this. Since I'm just trying to use these 3 shades, is not quite what I would go for. Okay, so let's see. This is with the 3 shades. Let me see what I can do if I add in something else and see what we think. I think it looks a lot better with what I did. So if you saw, I added inner corner highlight a bit just to lighten things up. It was still a little dark. I feel like I could probably fix that a bit. But I used Shiny Gold from my Festival palette. I also deepened up the outer corner a bit with a shade from the Magic palette. And then I used the, for me, a skin color shade from the Magic palette, but also from Stone Vibes, and blended out the outer part there a bit more. So yeah, I think that worked. Of course, adding eyeliner and just got something in my eye. So yeah, that is our completed look. And so hopefully I will get some good progress with using these shades the 10 times each, and I will report back when I've completed my mission. So until the next video, I hope that you will be doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you then. Bye.